People talk about men aging like wine. Look at like it's not true. I'm sorry. A great example of this is Leonardo DiCaprio. It's like, yes, Leonardo DiCaprio at his current age is handsomer than me. But when he was my age, he was way handsomer than he is now. Right. So this whole like delusion that men keep feeding themselves. Men age like wine. I've looked at the research here. Who's most physically attractive to a 25-year-old woman? It's like a 26-year-old man. Women are most physically attracted to men who are slightly older than themselves. And that only extends until like 40-ish. And then the trend actually starts to reverse. That's when women start thinking that younger men are actually sexier. And that gap becomes wider as they get older.
Until they open their mouths.
Would you like me to tell you why he's dead wrong?
I mean, you can't. Like, I'll tell you right now. I think the reason why that data comes up the way it is because of obesity. I think I think it's truly because of obesity. Like, again, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but like, I'm 47, and every girl who wants to go out with me is like under 25. I think what he's saying, it doesn't count for me. It's not because I'm like special. It's because I have figured out a way to not get super fat. I don't have a bunch of bad habits. I don't drink. I don't do any drugs. I take care of animals, and I can speak like a normal human being. And a lot of guys today are just fat, and as they get older, they get fatter. And I do agree with him. Like, that's the reason. Like, I go home for my high school reunion, and everybody there is overweight. Like 100% of my classmates.
You enjoyed the
100% of my classmates.
You enjoyed that frog walk on that reunion. I would enjoy mine too, though.
Yeah, but that, I mean, that's
Right
the point.
there.
It's like I'm not saying, I'm sure the statistics bear out what he's saying. I'm not saying I'm a supermodel, but I am more attractive now at 47 than I was at 27, period. There's no debating it whatsoever. I can tell because of the way the world reacts to me. Sexual market value. It is a sexual marketplace. The marketplace gives you feedback. The S&P 500 goes up when more people want to buy it. It goes down when more people want to sell it. And the amount of women that want to go out with me has increased in my 40s than compared to my 20s. Regardless of what Mackin says, maybe I'm the anomaly, but I've also chosen to stay in good shape, to read 60 books a year, things more.
To make you more fuckable.
Yes, I go out.
All things that you do that make you more
successful now too.
Yeah, of course.
Right, make you more fuckable.
Yeah, it's not just
Thank you.
I mean,
It's like a very common experience. Like the average person, like at that high school reunion, is like, like once you hit 30, like your bones are creaking, like it's all downhill from here. After
that's a
47, I play basketball like 4 days a week.
Like we're like the people in
I
Vegas.
play basketball 4 days a week, and I'm 47 years old, bro.
Yeah,
That's
mindset.
That's just
It's
your
That's what I'm
brain.
saying. Is that people,
excuses.
especially like when it comes to health and fitness, like
Yeah.
people believe that it's all downhill after you're like late 20s, whatever
That's
it is.
crazy to me.
And that's I've never been this healthy, this strong, this fit. Like I'm 32, and it's only gone up, but it really depends on what you prioritize.
Yeah, and even the older you get, you realize like patterns of your own life. So
If
then
you're
you start
healthy,
to be able
if you're
to
healthy enough
change
to
those things and make
self-reflect,
yourself.
but like,
right.
if you're
I
healthy
honestly
enough to
feel
have
like,
insight,
yeah,
like,
some people will say certain girls look crazy after a certain age. I'm going to be hot in my 30s because that's just my mindset, and I know I'm going to take care of myself.
I think a lot of it is
And you have good
consistency
genetics.
too.
Yes, I have great genetics, yeah. I
Like
do.
if you consistently take
Even
care
if
of
you don't
yourself,
have
it
good
becomes
genes, if you have
easier
money,
as you get
Take
older.
care of yourself, yeah.
You have money, you take that trip to Istanbul, you come back with a new
go to
nose.
Turkey.
Yeah.
Good as a mother.
yeah, you don't need
I don't
good
like
genes, but you do have good genes.
Have you seen those transformations? Those people who go to Turkey.
They look job there, though. I thought they do
So
a job there.
crazy. They take these fugly-looking people with these weird noses,
Beautiful.
and they make them look beautiful.
Beautiful. I know,
And I'm
I
not no
wanna go.
homo, like men. These guys look so handsome. These people
Last
at
time I
Turkey.
heard someone
Imagine
say
getting
that.
a MRSA infection there though, and having to go to the ER.
But I think that's
Imagine,
here in the States.
yeah, that's crazy. But I just
MRSA
think
infections and
surgery
yeast
would be
infections.
okay.
That's what's defining this
Oh
show.
my God, the kids
Anyway,
today.
the point is when I meet guys who are in their 40s and they're in shape, I have not seen them have trouble dating women in their 20s.
Usually the finest men.
Ever.
their
But
40s.
again, I'm not saying what, because it's anecdotal and it's a small percentage of the population. So for me being unmarried with no kids and not being fat and successful, I'm already in the minority. And so I'm not going to fit what his statistics are. But I will tell you, I would love to date a woman who's in her late 20s. I can't find one that wants to date me. It's always these girls under 25. They all have no problem going out with me whatsoever. I did not choose, my ex-girlfriend was 24 years younger than me. It was not my choice. When I met her, she was the one who liked me the most. And so that's why I went out with her. And so I'm not saying that what he's saying is wrong. The statistics are not wrong. my point is, if you are and I'm not telling you as men to date women 25 years younger than you. What I am telling you though is if you stay in shape and you are successful and you're active and you keep the neuroplasticity. I try to read between 30 and 60 books a year. If you can keep the neuroplasticity, then when you meet a woman who's in her 20s, you're just a more badass version of the 25-year-old that she saw before.
Yeah.
Because now I'm dangerous.
Can I ask you a
now I
question?
have
Now I'm
success
fucking
and I have
dangerous.
wisdom that I didn't have when I was 25.
Yeah.
Now I have the success and wisdom I didn't have. So now I'm dangerous at 47. And so that's where I think the difference is. Also, I think these stats are going to change significantly when more men get on TRT.
Yeah, that and they're also very old stats. Those are from OkCupid from about 2013.
Okay.
I know because I used them in an essay back in 2013. What he's also not showing you is the statistics for what guys find most attractive throughout their entire lives, from 15 all the way till they're 90. They find women between the ages of 21 and 24 the most attractive, being about 22, 23 is the most attractive across the board, because men and women, I don't know if he knows this, men and women actually find different things attractive in the opposite sex, okay? So if guys are primarily focused on the physical, they're looking for beauty, they're looking for fertility, they're looking for sexual availability, but primarily they're looking for a woman who's hot. And a woman who's hot is usually about 23 years old. The reason why women's age attraction staggers up is because it takes longer for men to mature into their peak potential.
So is that a
when it
reflection
comes
on
to
the
that.
women? So if you only have 20 to 24 girls going after you, and the 25 to something up, are the more mature, beautiful women seeing something fractured about you or something faulty
there's
about you
something-
that they don't want to necessarily dive in? Is it, or
I
that
don't,
the
are
younger
you asking about me
missing?
specifically?
No.
I'm asking in general, but since you
Okay.
mentioned it, if you have a, you know,
Yeah,
what I'm
I don't.
saying?
No, because
I,
women-
but I'm
no,
not
I'll tell you
pinpointing
what, I
but
don't-
I'm
Women
just
have different,
general.
women have
That's-
different
I'll tell you what,
criteria
I
for
don't-
what's attractive.
I don't hit on women. That's the difference.
Right.
You have to absolutely hit
Okay,
me
so
over
that's
the
the
head and let
difference
me know
then.
you're attracted to me, or I'm not doing.
Your ex came on to you.
Yes. Yeah, like you have to. Well,
he's
like,
been
like,
briefly on
like
the
I
website.
I hung out with her, and she very much let me know she was attracted to me. And when we did that, then it was fine. But I just don't hit on girls, and that's the difference.
So you think that then that's where the difference lies?
I think a lot of women in their 30s are not going to go that far to like let me. They're going to make me go on like 5 or 6 dates, and I'm just like, I'm deliberately clueless when it comes to that. You have to absolutely.
But
let me know
see,
you like me.
looking at you, I
Depends on
would
the
not
woman.
assume that because you have this, like, you know, this gym little ego mentality that you kind of have, you know. So I wouldn't assume that unless you told me. So then I'm a lot older than I look. I tell everyone I'm 25 plus shipping and handling, but I turned 30 last year. So I see that, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I
You
look
feel
like a
me?
red flag.
But if I told
look
you,
like
but
a
if I
red-
spoke
you're
to
saying
you
I
when
look
you
like a
said
red flag. Just say it out loud.
For sure.
I
But
look
if I
like-
spoke to you, then I'm like,
I look-
oh, okay. Well, wait a minute.
I look-
Maybe you can buy me one other drink. I'm
I
kind of
look-
parched, you know. But I'd have to talk.
You're
to
saying
you.
I look like a minefield in Afghanistan in 1983.
Yeah, like am I
I'm
in
a
the
red
mood
flag.
for
Is that
that
what you're
tonight?
saying?
You know, like.
Yeah, got it. I understand.
Well, I mean, you also got to look at the numbers here too, because if you look at the latest,
But don't judge a book by its cover.
if you look at the polls right now, guys between the ages of 18 and 29, men report being single at what, 67%?
Yeah, so
for
under
women,
under
it's
age-
34%.
Under the age of 30, 2/3 of men are single, 1/3 of women.
Yeah,
So
meaning
how is
they're-
that possible? Unless women are dating older men.
Yeah. They're all same guy, or they're fucking some guy who's
Also-
out of the age
Also,
cohort.
the other issue is people reporting things, and like men tend to be a little bit closer in what they say. It's what they say they want and what they actually want. Say, I want a girl who's 21 to 25, whatever, has green eyes, black hair. If they can date a girl who looks like that, that's who they go after. Women will say they want, I want a super nice guy who does all this kind of stuff, and then they end up, dating whoever they date, which might not line up with exactly what they say they want. Do you have another one?
Yeah, just to finish off here is like that's why I've always pegged guys at between the ages of say like 34 and 38, like about 36 years old, is when they hit their peak potential for attraction because they have more of what makes them maximally attractive. So if you've got a guy who's still in good shape at 35 years old, he's now made partner in the law firm, he's a better judge of character, he has better sexual selectivity, and he can go after women who are younger than him. Why wouldn't he
And he
do
can hold a
that?
conversation.
Hold a conversation. He's more mature. I think on some level of consciousness, women understand that it takes longer for men to mature into their peak potential than it does for women because they're simply hotter and younger at 23 because that's what men are looking for. And when women are looking for a guy that they want to either have sex with or they want to have a relationship with, that guy has to have a laundry list of prerequisites that the woman doesn't have to have. And that's where he loses the narrative in all of this.
Click the link in the description below, and I'll send you my high status networking playbook for free so you can start meeting high quality women today.